Hey guys, welcome to the CrafTangles YouTube channel. I'm Nandini here and I'm going to show you some lovely projects using the Everyday Sentiment stamp set. I will be creating 2 cards today as well as upscaling a canvas pencil pouch. So let's get started. I am using the Aged Roses pattern paper pack by CrafTangles. I selected 3 colors that complement each other. I cut the papers into strips measuring 1.5 by 3 3/4 inches and glued them on a scrap piece of cardstock. Pattern papers are a great resource when you want to create quick cards. Subtle background designs are great backdrops for stamping or stenciling. This particular set is a great favorite of mine since it has a lovely floral design that is repeated in many different colors. Once the glue dried, I trimmed the panel to fit an 8:2 size card base. I'm stamping the large sunflower using black pigment ink. I will repeat this a couple of times to get a good dark image. Since pigment inks remain wet longer, they can be used with embossing powders. Today I am using a black embossing powder. The sentiment is from the same set and I stamped it using the same black pigment ink. As the final touch, I am using the Midnight Dreams chalk paint to add splatters to the panel. I will let the panel air dry while I prep the card base and cut a mat out of black cardstock. I created the card base by sticking a piece of craft panel over a top folding white card base by CrafTangles. The black mat is cut slightly larger than the stamped panel. I will glue the mat directly to the card base. To pop up the stamp panel, I will use a piece of scrap mount board. And with that, our card is ready. For my second card, I am doing some watercoloring. I will start by stamping the image on a piece of watercolor paper. The ink I am using is a Versafine Onyx Black, which is waterproof once dry. Watercolor paper is normally textured. I like to stamp a few times to ensure a nice dark image. The watercolor pens I am using today were a gift for my son. They are very simple ones, but I like the bullet tips that they have. I will use 2 shades of green for the leaf. Using 2 to 3 shades of the same color always adds dimension to the coloring. With any water reactive medium, blending becomes very easy as the water does most of the work. Also, pens and pencils are easier to use as they offer more control. For the flower petals, I am using 2 shades of yellow and orange. The coloring I am doing is very simple. I am not an expert at coloring. My simple thumb rule is to use the dark shades at the bottom of the petal and blend it up with the lighter color. flower centers are colored with 2 shades of brown. Once I'm finished using my pens, I will use a damp brush and clean water to blend the colors. My panel is completely dry now. I decided to cut it up with a circle die and use it on the card. My card base is navy blue. I rounded the corners to go with the round theme of the card design. The sentiment was stamped on a smaller circle. To assemble the card, I will simply glue the circles down on the card base. And with that, a second card is ready. For my final project, I am using the Everyday Sentiment stamp along with an acrylic block to upcycle a simple canvas pencil pouch. The first step is to insert a paper pad in the pouch. This ensures that I will have an even surface for stamping. It will also protect my pouch against any ink that bleeds through. Since I cannot use my stamp positioner, I am mounting the stamp on a large acrylic block. I am using a black mixed media ink that works on fabrics. The stamping has to be perfect because we only get one shot at this. So I am inking my stamp really well. I am also pressing down evenly to transfer the ink completely to the pouch. Once the stamping is done, I will heat set the ink to make it permanent. Mixed media inks take longer to dry, so heat setting them is a very important step whenever we use them. Let's add some color to the pouch now. I am using some chalk paints by CrafTangles to add splatters of color to the pouch. I am starting with lemon drop, which is a lovely bright yellow. I will dilute it with some water and tap a loaded brush over the pouch. You can control the size of the splatters by controlling the amount of water that you add to the paint. After the yellow, I am using green fused chalk paint. Initially, I was also planning on using the blue chalk paint, but I changed my mind and ended up using the black Midnight Dreams instead. Once the splatters are done, I will leave the pouch to air dry. This is a quick process. You can use a heat gun if you want to speed it up. To add even more color to the images, I pulled out mixed media inks in yellow, rust, green and pink. I am using mini blending brushes to tap some color over the flowers and leaves. The whole idea is to add some more interest to the flowers and give them an artsy look that goes well with the ink splatters. My final touch is to add some dimension and sparkle to the flower centers. I like to use 3D paints for this. I am using the tube to add small dots around the outer edge of the flower centers. Just remember to let the pouch dry completely. After using 3D paints, as they take a bit longer to dry. And with that, my stamp pouch is ready. I really hope you enjoyed the projects today. Have you tried stamping on any other surface than paper? Please do let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for regular updates. Bye and take care.